Alrighty, hello everyone. Good morning or good evening. Um, First and foremost, I want to apologize for the lateness of this video. Trying to record it and get it all together. It's been a struggle. It's been real. With that being said, as far as the timeline for like watching it, I'm gonna extend it. I'm gonna say Monday, but I was hoping to get it up by Friday, and that was not the case. So with that being said, I'm giving everyone until next week Friday, which will be August 9th. So gives everyone enough time to watch the video. That's actually more time than original. So yeah. Also, sorry about the quality of this video. I'm using it in my desktop. Originally I was using my phone, and I was hoping to possibly like go live and like do it on YouTube to make it look just a little easier. But just kind of work some things around. So I have a list. This isn't going to be too long. I also have a timer down here so I can see how long I'm talking for, so I'm not just rambling. So yeah, first thing we're going to talk about is, first thing I'm going to mention is the form that I sent home with all the kids. I believe I sent this one on Thursday of last week, which was, I think that was August 1st or July 31st, one of the 2 days. But this form right here is just a form that I'm asking all the parents to sign after they watch the video. So after you watch this parent meeting video, just sign this and bring it back to the daycare. The reasoning for the video instead of actually calling a meeting is because I know many parents are weekends, and I'm understanding all of that. So with that being said, instead of having to like say the information twice, figure I could just do it as a video type of situation. You guys can watch it, get all the information out to you guys, and that be that. So that's the form that I'm asking all the parents to sign. I am asking that everyone watch it just because I am sharing a lot of information. Some things that I didn't just say in the text messages. Bringing that point up, this past week I did send out some messages to everyone. Alright, so the first thing were the updates that were effective August 1st. So the first update is weekend care will no longer be offered here at Gossip Learning Center. Let me sit up because I know it looks like I don't have on top, and I do. So that was the first update. Weekend care no longer be offered here at Gossip Learning Center. Not many parents were using it, but having been in business for quite some time now, kind of getting a feel of certain things, and so weekend care is no longer being offered here. The second thing is for children who are on split shifts. For parents, I will need your schedule. So if your schedule is pretty constant, I'll go into more detail about that when I get to the parent contract, but that can be listed there. But if your schedule does change from week to week and it varies, I will need those schedules every Sunday by 6 p.m. And that you can just text to me, either my business cell phone number or my personal cell, with all parents have both numbers. So that is that. The second update that I sent out via text, again, I send these out through my business cell phone number in the group chat just because it just makes it easier. I know that many times papers get lost, they get tossed, and if it's in in the text form, you can't really lose that. So that's why I just send it out that way, because it's just a little bit easier. But moving along, the second update that I did send out was the updated closing list. So at the beginning of the year, I was give out to all the parents the yearly one. I know when everyone enrolled, I had like kind of, I don't want to say generic, but it had the days and the dates. But this one I've updated, revised a little bit, added some days, took away some days, and so this is for the remainder of the year, and then will be sent out beginning of 2020, obviously. But the updated one is just for Labor Day, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's, as well as professional training days, which I will notify you of those days in advance or as I receive them, and then vacation closing, that I will notify the parents advance, 30 days in advance, so that you guys can have personal backup care available. Something to keep in mind, which is something that I did put in my policy when everyone enrolled, and I go over that with you. But keep in mind that we do close with MPS as winter will be coming soon. When they close for like weather closings, the daycare will be closed as well. Like I know last year there was a lot of closings, so just keep that in mind. And then the last update was August 26th, which is a Monday. The daycare will be closed due to in-service training day. So on that day, you will need personal backup care. That's why I want to get it out to everyone in advance, so that it isn't like last minute. And then we'll be back open that Tuesday, which is the 27th. So letting everyone know ahead of time so everyone can prepare for that day. Moving right along, again, I'm not trying to make this super long. So moving right along, I also sent out this month's newsletter. I used to send out the paper ones, but like I said, I know those get lost, those get tossed, and I find it just easier to just send them out so you guys can have them. One of the upcoming events that we're having here at the daycare is our back to school event, which will be August 17th at 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It'll be here at the daycare. We'll have food, we'll have fun, and I bought school supplies. I know I was super excited to be able to do this and get back to the kids as well as the parents. So I went out, bought some backpacks for some school supplies, and I think everyone will really love it. Again, we're going to have food, we're going to have fun, we're going to have some music. It's going to be a good time. And it'll be from 10 to 2. I know that's kind of early, but you know, it'll be from that time frame. We'll give out the backpacks, we'll eat and barbecue and all that fun stuff. So I'm really excited. I love being able to give back and have different events and stuff like that for the parents and for the kids. And then on the newsletter also was just the list of field trips that I was planning for the last summer month before everyone goes back to school and it's time to wake up early and do homework and all that crazy stuff that comes along with being in school. So we have our last hurrah field trips for this month that is also listed on the newsletter. I'll be sending out field trip forms on Monday, which will be August 5th. So those will be going home to all the kids. Just send those back and we'll be good to go. Alright, so again, moving right along. Trying to make sure I'm staying on track. Got me a little list so I know I can ramble. Alright, so the next upcoming event that, before we get into like the nitty-gritty, the next upcoming event that I'm still planning and processing and like trying to put together, but some parents know, some people may not know, that we are trying to expand, get a building. You know, I love having a family daycare, but I do want something a little bit bigger, which means more kids, more space, all of that. And so to help with that, we are going to be doing a building fundraiser. If anyone has any ideas that they want to, you know, contribute, or let me know, I'm only a phone call or a text away. All ideas are welcome. I'm still, you know, coming up with some myself, but I do know I want to plan something so we can raise some money to get a building. So that is, you know, still going to be there. Keep that in mind. More information to be coming out to you guys as I get it and as I continue to plan it. But I did want to like just put that out there because we are going to be fundraising for that. So that is that. I'm doing really good on time. Like the first time I filmed this. Alright, so okay, I did the new updates. Oh, the next thing, code payments. I do want to thank everyone that has been doing a phenomenal job in making code payments. I know some people ask, well, why do I have a co-payer? Trust me, it's not me. It's literally not me. It's the state. And with, you know, being rated by Youngstar, and not just with Youngstar, they do require the parents who receive Wisconsin Shares to have their parent portion So which translates into a copayment. So I know with that, I did try to make them super affordable and very, I guess in other words, just affordable for everyone. Because I know most of the parents of the kids that go here are single parents. So I know money can be tight. That's why I didn't want to make them super, super expensive. And they're like cut in half, cut in half, cut in half. So with that being said, kind of along those lines, with copay, which I will explain more in the parent contract, because that's where I kind of go into more detail. But I just want to take that time to say thank you to all the parents that are, making their payments, and everyone, I should say, is making their payments. But I do want to thank you. I know when I was told, well, we want to make sure that they're making copays, I was like, because I put myself in that shoe, like what, just last year I would have been like, but I do thank everyone who are making their copays. Moving right along, before I get into the new policy changes, the one thing I do want to stress is communication. I know I really kind of go over that during the enrollment process of all the children, and how communication for me is very, very important. I am truly a talker. Like I love to talk, but I want to make sure that we have effective lines of communication at all times. So that means having respect, and then not using profanity, rude terms, and stuff like that, whether it's over the phone or via text message. I just ask for that level of respect, especially since I do try my hardest to give it. I know emotions can sometimes get the best of us, but I want to keep words. I want to keep in mind that just to have that level of respect for each other. And also, if you know your child will not be at daycare for whatever reason, I just ask that you communicate that with me. Because whether I'm doing a planned activity or whatever, I need to know who's all going to be here, how many kids I'm going to have, all that type. I'm talking too fast. All that type of information. So if you know your child will not be at daycare, you can either send me a call the center, or you can call me, or you can text me. I have three means of contact. We have the daycare number, 414-763-9214. My personal cell phone number, 414-553-8255. And then my business cell phone number, which is 262-373-9493. Sorry, I was looking at the card because I don't know that one by heart. But that's the number where all the updates and group texts come from. But I just wanted to keep that in mind. So everyone has multiple numbers to contact me. So just, you do need to let me know that child will not be there. Let me know if there's any problems or concerns. I want to know those too. I want to be here to help also. So that is that. Now, moving along. So basically the last thing is the updated parent contract. A lot of the stuff in here did stay the same, but I did make some changes and updates from the original parent contract that each and every parent signed upon enrollment. Before I go into this, I did also add a few changes to my policy, which I will be sending out the last copy for everyone to sign on that. The changes I did make were basically adding that the daycare is insured for any accidental injuries or deaths. I added the copay information, which a lot of the stuff new that's in here is also new in there. There will be a copy of the policy here at the daycare for any parent that wishes to look through it, read it, whatever. But as far as sending home an actual policy, which is like almost 30 pages long, I will not be putting that off. But there will be one here at the daycare for anyone to look at, read, if you have questions, whatever, that will be here and ready available to you. The other option is I can email it. That is also available as well. So now going into the parent contract, which similar to the first one, you just put your name, your address, and the children that are enrolled and their ages. The part that says payment for childcare, I will fill that part in based on the child's age. So I will fill that part in. And then the schedule. So the schedule is the time frame that your child will be in daycare. Not necessarily your work schedule, but the time that your child will be coming to daycare. So, for example, if you are on a constant schedule and you know that you don't have to be at work till 2, you don't have to be at work at 2, then your child's schedule will possibly be either 1 or 1:30 around that time frame to give you traveling time to get to work so you're not late. So that'll go here, your child's schedule. As I mentioned previously, if you are on a split shift and your split shift is not constant, then you would check the box that's above the schedule, and then it'd be your responsibility as a parent to send me that schedule on a weekly basis so that I know when your child will be coming to daycare, not just dropping them off, random times. Like, no, I need a constant schedule. So yeah, that will go here. And I do want to keep in mind, before I go into any further notice, whether I choose to enforce any items in this contract that doesn't affect the validity of the contract or make any other aspect of the contract invalid. So I do want to keep that in mind, because from this contract, if say your child's schedule is, I don't know, 2 to 10 and you need your house come at 9 and you drop your kid off at 9 and it's unapproved, then there would be additional fees for that. But I'm not one that stresses that too much, but it is in here. But just because I don't stress that doesn't make this contract invalid. So I do want to point that out, because that is in here. If you're reading it, you may question, well, what? I do want to point that out. But with that being said, that's not saying just drop your kid off like hours early. I do need a schedule. And if you are going to bring them early, that would need to be approved by me before they just get dropped off. The above times for the schedule, so moving on to page 2, are fixed. Before it was flexible, they are fixed. If your child's schedule does need to change, then that would need to be amended in the contract. And again, if you're working split shift, then that would be your responsibility, if your schedule is not constant, to give me that schedule every Sunday by 6 p.m. via text. And you can text either number, but I would need to have that prior to them coming on Monday. The next part is really still the same. The due dates for parents that receive Wisconsin Shares is monthly on the 1st of each month. And then speaking onto that, going down to my child care payments. If you are on Wisconsin Shares Subsidy Program, the payment policy is as follows, which I'm really good at sending out the monthly reminders, because I know parents forget. The first kind of sneaks up on us. So I do send out those reminders, but with that reminder, it is your responsibility to make your payment by the 1st of each month. Parents can either make the payments online or you can call it in, but I do not make payments. I want to clarify that. It's your responsibility to make your payment. If payment is not received by 11:59 on the 1st or prior to your child coming to daycare the next day, which would be the 2nd, they will not be allowed to come. I haven't had to turn anyone away. I will say all my parents are really good at making their payments, but I do have to stress that, just because yes, you guys make the payments, but I don't get paid until like 2 days after that. So depending on when the 1st falls really affects when it comes and actually comes to me. So that's why I really stress to all parents to make your payments on the 1st. Because it does take a minute for the money to actually come to me, and I have bills to pay as well. I'm not staying there for free. Lights aren't free. Employees don't work for free. So everyone wants to get paid, just like when you work, you want to get paid. So yes, and then the payments that aren't covered from the Wisconsin Share Subsidy is the co-payment. So now going into that little bit or section that I did add to the parent contract. So monthly co-pays are, each parent will receive an invoice for the co-pays, and so each invoice is different, each due date is different, but I try to make it accommodating for each family. So I do, like I mentioned previously, the co-pays are like cut in half, then cut in half again, so that they are affordable. So I do have 4 options for paying your copay. You can either, one, you can pay the dollar amount, so you can just pay cash. 2, if you receive food share, you can bring in extra snacks. That will equal or total the dollar amount. So if your copay is $40 and you're in snacks, you can bring $40 worth of snacks. Which I did provide a food list, which I'll probably update it as we move into the seasons. But the foods are pretty much still the same. I serve healthy snacks here, healthy nutritious snacks. So just kind of keep that in mind if you are going to do the snack option. Or 3, volunteer hours. So at a rate of $7.50 an hour, you can volunteer the number of hours until it equals the total dollar amount. So I think if your copay was like $50 at $7.50 an hour, that would be about like 7.5 hours, give or take, of volunteer hours that you would have to do or complete by the end of the month. So, which is the last Friday of the month is when I have that cutoff. So that are the options. Or you could do a mixture of all 3. So say I have $10 in cash, I have $10 in snacks, and then the rest I'll just volunteer. You can do something like that as far as paying for your copay. Please note, I do have to stress this. Please note, not sending your child or children does not cover or substitute for your copayments. Maybe if I was charging the full amount, then that may be a possibility, but here, because I am making it so low, I'm already losing money. Not sending your child just won't cover for your copay. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm not trying to sound overbearing about it, but not sending your kid for a day or 2 days is not going to cover for your copay, especially when it's already discounted to a very, very low rate. So that isn't an option. The options are listed above in the parent policy. Please note that there is a late fee. So if your copay is not received by the due date, or you haven't made arrangements prior to, there is a $3 late fee applied for each day the copay is late. So again, along with when your child care payments are due, I do send out that text reminder of when your copay is due. So please keep that in mind. If you're not going to have it by the due date, you got three numbers to reach me: the daycare number, my business cell, and my personal cell. So just call me, reach out, and we can make arrangements. But if you fail to do that, then there will be late fees applied. So please keep that in mind. Going on, the bottom part is overtime rates. So even though this isn't something that I enforce entirely, just because I don't enforce it to its fullest does not mean that this contract is invalid. So I do want to keep that in mind. But also, just because I don't enforce it doesn't mean that it can't be enforced. I do want to note that just because it's not enforced doesn't mean that it can't be enforced. Alright, and then the next part is it's still the same. There is in here I do note that there's a detailed closing list with the exact dates. So I did send that out, and that was in the text. The updates that I did send out, side note, via text are also here in the daycare on the parents board. So when you do pick up your children, you can easily just step into the hall and see all the different updates or whatnot on there as well. And so next year, I'll be sending out another closing list with like the exact dates, because the days shift or whatnot. But for the remainder of the year, I did send those out. So that part is still the same aside for that. And then also, one thing I did add, so parents who receive Wisconsin shares for my child care, it's your responsibility to give God's Love Learning Center a copy of the authorized hours. On my end, I can only see if your child is authorized, when your authorization period is, and when it ends. It does not show me how many hours you get monthly. So it is your responsibility to inform me of how many hours you are authorized for. Please keep that in mind. And that you can either do text, email, or in person. Just text is probably the easiest, just because it's, probably just a screenshot or a photo of the form that they give you, and you just send that over to me. Or I can make a copy of it, whichever one you prefer. And then lastly, it's just the termination procedures, which is pretty much the same. The only thing I added is at the end. This contract may be terminated if lines of communication are constantly being disrespected, and the use of disrespectful languages and tones will not be tolerated. This contract may be terminated by either you or me. That goes into further detail in my policy. This isn't like the only reason why, but if for whatever reason I feel like this isn't a good fit, or if you feel like this isn't a good fit, there are other daycares. There are other options out there. The only thing that I ask is that you give me a 2-week notice prior to the last day of care is required. And I would do the same if I feel like this isn't working out. Besides just giving a notice, I would ask to meet and speak with the parent. But, if you find that God self-guiding center isn't a fit for you or your child, no feelings will be broken or hurt. I will of course miss the children because I love all the kids that come here. We all have a little bond. But again, there are other daycares that can assist you. So, with that being said, this contract isn't, it is a binding agreement between you and I as far as the things that I expect from my parents. As the policy kind of goes through what I know that you guys expect some things from me. So the policy kind of lists those things. And the contract is basically what I'm expecting of the parents. So, this contract isn't like a forever thing. It can end, but it does kind of outline as far as like what my expectations are of all the parents. I believe that is it. Oh, I did mention there are a few changes or updates in the policy, which like I said, I'll have that here. And if anyone wants to come in and read it, or you want it via email, I can send that way. But as far as printing almost 30 pages, I'm not going to be doing that and sending it home to everyone. So because that is a lot of ink, a lot of pages, just saying. But as I mentioned, the only thing that I really changed or added is what is in here. So I added the copay stuff, the insurance information, and about when the payments are due. So that is really the only changes that I did add to that. Again, I'll send a form home so that everyone can sign that. And I just want to make sure I'm covering everything. Like I said, I have a little list. I believe that is it. I'm rolling up on 30 minutes. I wasn't intending to talk this long, but who am I kidding? I knew it was going to happen. But I do have a lot of information I want to share with you guys. But that is it. I look forward to seeing everyone tomorrow. Today is Sunday. I look forward to seeing everyone tomorrow. And that's it. Whoa, can't talk. Like I said, that is it. That is all. Trying to make sure I covered everything. Yeah, that's it. That's all. Remember that I love you guys. God loves you, and I hope everyone has a blessed rest of their Sunday, or whatever day you're watching this. And see everyone very soon. Bye.